About midway through elementary school, your child probably decided he can or cannot draw. That eager kindergarten artist often recedes and then totally disappears, but it doesn't have to be that way. Some experts say just like learning to play the piano, a knack for drawing can be learned, and you, mom, are the one to teach it. Lest you doubt me, I've got Laurie White here, who believes everyone can draw. Thanks for being here. And you've brought some cute little artist assistants. We're gonna introduce them and get to them in just a little bit. But first, let's talk about that concept. We think that art is sort of this mystical creature, right? That it's out there and it's a talent you have or you don't. You say not so.
Not so. So there's this huge myth that creativity and drawing are the same thing, but they're not. Learning to draw is, you can learn how to draw, you can be an artist, you can be an artist early, you can start late and still be an artist. So about when we're children, we can draw anything. So everything the kids draw, they think they're awesome, they love it, everything they produce. They're like, check it out, and they have all this confidence.
My fridge is covered with that check it out confidence.
Yeah,
absolutely.
everything they draw, put it up on the fridge, Mom.
Yeah.
So we totally love that. And then they get to this age around 8 or 9, and it's this developmental age of the age of comparison, where they start looking around going, mine doesn't look like that. Did I draw it okay? Does mine look like the teacher's? Is it all right? So at that point, we really need to be able to teach them to see like an artist and how to draw so that they can get right over that and continue feeling like they're an artist.
So is that the key then to regaining that artistic confidence?
Exactly.
Is getting them over that hump, so to speak?
Exactly. And really the thing that we need to do is teach them how to draw so that they have that confidence so they will keep drawing and be creative later.
You call this guided drawing. How do you know if your child is ready, skill-wise, age-wise, for a guided drawing experience? Great
Question. So usually I say around 5, but some kids can do it earlier. It kind of just depends on their hand-eye motor coordination.
That's early, 5.
Yeah, 5. Because if they can draw a line and like a straight line and a curved line, then they're ready for guided drawing. So when they're 3, they're just drawing representational things. But when they get to be 4 and 5, depending on if they're starting to write letters, and you can play a little game as a mom, say, I'm gonna draw a straight line, can you draw a straight line? Now I'm gonna draw a circle below that. So if they can draw a few simple lines and shapes and use those prepositional words, they're ready for guided drawing.
What if, as a parent, Laurie, like I'm not artistic myself, and that makes me feel a little insecure as I set out to draw those artistic threads out of my child? Do you have to be artistic in order to teach art or promote art in your home?
Not at all. Anyone can be an art champion. So for 20 years, I've been helping moms learn how they can be the art teacher for their child, and it's just the same. So if you kind of quit drawing when you were 8 or 9 because you didn't think you could draw good enough or realistically enough, it's the same thing. We break down everything in guided drawing by one line and one shape at a time, and in a few minutes, they've followed this guided drawing, mom included, and everyone goes, oh, I am an artist. I can draw. And so that's the magic of it.
I love the title, Be an Art Champion, an art champion. So with that goal in mind, to be an art champion, what art supplies do you wish all moms had stocked in their home?
So really, it's basic. If you only have crayons and paper, you're totally fine. If you want to take it up a notch, my next favorite is oil pastels. They're cheap and they give you the most bang for the buck. And I especially like using oil pastels on construction paper because if they're coloring their subject and they either kind of get bored or they're done, the background's already a color. So it's gonna look like a finished product. So I love those, and then next I would step up to just praying watercolors. I'm a real proponent of praying because they're brighter. And maybe even chalk pastels. But really, you could get some paper and those items for under $20 and set up art in your house. All
right, you say this is something any mom can do, so we're gonna learn along today as you lead a mini art lesson, a guided drawing experience for these cute little artists. Let's see, we have Jade, right? JT and Abby. You guys are ready to go? Crayon in hand. Laurie, I'll let you take it away and I'm gonna watch and learn myself.
Okay, are you ready to draw something great?
They look ready.
Okay, today we are going to draw a wild thing from my favorite book, Where the Wild Things Are. Okay.
You guys read that book?
Well, yes. I have read it so many times to my kids that I was just doing it ad lib here. I can do the whole thing without looking. So
That's a good mom.
I was telling them the story.
That's awesome.
Okay, so we're gonna start off by just using a simple shape and line. So we're gonna start off with a circle and we're gonna make it pretty big. We want him to take up the paper. Okay, so you guys ready? All right, so let's just draw a circle. Okay. Awesome. And remember, if yours looks different than mine, then you're doing it right because you are the artist of your paper. Okay, now we're just going to draw a curved line starting right here and down on each side. So see if you can come over in the same place and stop in the same place. All right, easy, right? Circle and lines, everyone can draw. Okay, now let's do his horns on top. That's kind of my favorite part of those striped horns. So we're going to curve up and back down. You see how the top is thinner and the bottom's thicker? See if you can do that.
Looking good, you guys.
I know, aren't they awesome?
I'm impressed. I'm gonna let you keep working if that's okay.
You bet.
We're gonna check in on this experience throughout the hour, check in on the progress, and I can't wait to see your finished projects, you guys, okay? Can we check back in a minute?
You're gonna be amazed.
Super helpful just to watch and learn. Laurie, you're great. Thank you so much. These guys will get busy, continue their projects, and we will check throughout the hour to see how that progress is coming along and also get some more tips from Laurie. So helpful, right? To watch her kind of talk them through that and know we can do that on the ground as moms as well. All right. Our art lesson is underway, and I have to tell you, these cute little artists are really pulling through for us. We are watching along, and as moms, learning along as art instructor Laurie teaches Jade, JT, and Abby guided drawing. It's a guided drawing exercise, and their projects are turning out perfect. I'll say perfect because whatever they do is perfect, right? But we're also learning as we watch Laurie's vocabulary and how she can draw out that inner artist in every child. We'll check back in and get more tips from Laurie and see those finished masterpieces in just a little bit. So we have been proudly watching our artists work throughout the show in a guided drawing experience. We're here to check the results, and I am here to tell you that Jade, JT, and Abby are three of the most talented artists I've ever seen. Can you guys hold up your projects, your drawings? Hold them up right there to that camera. Look at this. They've been drawing, as you can tell, a picture pulled from the pages of where the wild things are, and I love it. All right, you guys, keep working. Finish it off. Keep getting busy. That's awesome. Laurie, you did a great job leading these guys in this guided exercise, and what was most intriguing for me, I think, is watching kind of your words and how you drew out that creativity. One phrase you said earlier is, you are the artist of your own page. I love that. What other phrases can parents draw upon, no pun intended, to help draw out that inner artist in their child?
I think it's really important for them to realize that even though we're trying to teach them realistically, we're not expecting for perfectionism. That will really upset them. It'll make them nervous. So any line that they do, we want to say, that's great. And they'll say, mine's too big, or that's okay. Yours can go off the paper. Mine didn't, but yours can. So really letting them know that what they decide to do or what happens is okay.
How do you make a correction then, or do you make a correction? At what point can you help them boost their skill to the next level?
I do. I love saying that. So you'll notice that we didn't draw with pencils. I don't use erasers with kids because I think just that our insecurity, and especially adults, I never give them erasers because they draw, erase, draw, erase. So I just say, grab a black Sharpie, grab a crayon, and then if you make a mistake, it's okay. It just means that you didn't love that line, so just draw right next to it. Usually with the mediums you're using, you can color over the ones you didn't like. Or sometimes, so when I'm teaching at school, I'll just tell everybody, just stay along with me, and if you do something you don't like, keep on drawing, and when I'm done talking, you can raise your hand, and I go over there and say, okay, where is it? And they're like, I don't like this part. And I say, that's all right. What else could we do? What else do we have? Well, we've got the wild things, so we have a forest. We could make that line you didn't like into a leaf. So we could make it into a tree.
You're turning their mistake into part of the project.
And that's problem solving. So instead of thinking everything has to be perfect and breaking down, which happens, so I feel like it happens earlier and earlier with our kids. That's why drawing is so important. That's why creating is so important. So we're teaching problem solving. We're giving them the language to say, oh, that's okay. I can do this instead. They get to choose how they correct it, and then that builds their confidence too. So I have a problem, I can solve it, it's still awesome.
This was honestly so helpful. It's evident you are so good at what you do.
I love it.
You do. You've been teaching art for how long?
20 years.
20 years, and you now have a way that parents can bring in your teachings, your experience into their homes.
That's right. That's
Tell us about that.
So I developed the Art Camp in a Box, and really this is, people think, oh, it's for my kids. It's for the mom, because I want moms to be the art teacher. I want to give the gift of being the art teacher to every mom out there, because being a mom is my favorite, and being an art teacher is my next favorite. So I'm going to give you this box loaded with 25 interactive lesson plans, guided drawing, and then tons of tips and tricks of how to use your supplies, how to talk to your kids, how to know when they're ready, how to even involve your toddlers.
Good for what age?
Good for ages 4 to 12.
Okay.
And loaded with all the supplies you need, and you can use it for birthday parties and weekends and
Where can we
Christmas.
get it?
You can get it on our website, greatartistprogram.com.
Okay.
And there's tons of free guided drawing lesson tutorials on my YouTube channel, Great Artist Mom.
Love it. Thank you so much. A
You're
pleasure to meet you. You
welcome.
guys, way to go. Was it fun?
Yeah.
Everybody, round of applause for Jade, JT, and Abby. They did so good, and they're too busy to even notice the accolades. They're too focused. They're artists at work. Thanks again, Laurie. Really fun.